When I get these bouts of anxiety or depression, sometimes I don't know what is bringing them on. And I can kind of try to figure it out and get very analytical in my own brain, which doesn't help. And even when I've had friends around who are just like, what's the problem? Like, I don't know. And I do feel like in those times, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to talk about it. I don't really know that I have the language to. I mean, talk about how music is powerful. Music gives me a language to put that stuff into. Even as a kid, I remember like this feeling of being a stranger in a strange land, or a bit of an alien or a freak in the town that you grow up in. All I wanted to do was get older and play music. I started discovering punk rock, folk music, old soul music, and to start to recognize that there were other freaks out there that said things in a way that I could understand. We could all go down the list of these things as kids that like, yes, give it to me, please. And I fell in love with it.
Here comes my baby, here she comes now. Walking with the love that's oh so fine. Never to be mine, no matter how I try.
There's an energy in a venue some nights that I've never experienced anywhere else. Perhaps for an hour or two, people forget what their politics are and that sort of thing. And something definitely happens or flows through myself or the musicians or the audience that, you know, we don't feel every day going around in our lives. That's a beautiful thing, man. For me, anxiety, depression has been in my life for as long as I could remember, and medicating that with drugs and alcohol has been in my life for a long, long time. About 8 years ago, I locked myself essentially in a room and quit drinking and drugs. It was on my 33rd birthday. And it was very apparent that it was necessary. I felt like I was dying spiritually, emotionally, wasn't feeling so hot physically. Doing that by myself, it proved to be unsustainable. I had been prescribed medication for anxiety. And I knew that this kind of medication wasn't what a man like me needs to be messing with. And I decided to do it anyway, and it became like 2 or 3 years of just an addiction to this stuff, and it was gnarly. I got sober again right before the pandemic. I thought just by coming back to Nashville, I would get healthy again, and that would do the trick. I drove back with one of my best friends, like a brother to me, and throughout that trip, he didn't know what was going on, but he was just clearly concerned, looking at me like he didn't know who I was. He was aggravated. I think there was something really powerful of that mirror. A dear friend of mine who has known me for a long, long time, just looking at me with eyes of just like, I don't know what is going on. I don't know how to help you. I don't know who you are. I do think I'm an alcoholic. I do think I'm an addict. I do think I have a lot of anxiety issues and depression issues at times. I didn't know a way forward on my own, which scared the shit out of me. I know people that have used and drank over the pandemic. I know people who haven't made it. So it felt sort of like cosmic timing for me to finally ask for help and not just think I could do it on my own. Because I guess I thought I was kind of a badass, that I could drink and drug the way that I did and then stop on my own. But then I got unstopped. And so I started calling these treatment centers without even knowing that it was like a 12-step based rehab. I don't know that I would say it was a lot of fun for me, but it was necessary and a great gift that I did it, and it pushed me out into a community and to like an understanding of what this community is. And slowly but surely have been trying to develop a new routine of life, which does include meditation. It does include a 12-step program for me, and staying connected with people that understand intrinsically the creature that lives within, which is addiction, anxiety, depression, all that, and how not to feed. Because the creature, as far as I can tell, it doesn't die. And it quiets down for me at times, but you know, you can just feel shaken up and not know why you're feeling all twisted up. through desperation and wanting just to save my own life, my heart opened to what that was and to the community of people. It can be uncomfortable discussing these things, and I don't always love to, but I know that it is helpful to just get all of these stories and just this into the lexicon of how we communicate. This shit is not some kind of weakness. Hopefully I won't forget some of the things that I think I've learned this year and take with me the things that do work and feel honest and feel healthy, and be brave enough to discard some of the shit that makes us sick, you know. Easier said than done, but I'm hopeful. All right, let's do it.
In the midnight moonlight, I'll be walking a long and lonely mile. And every time I do, I keep seeing.
I'm gonna do a Cat Stevens song called Here Comes My Baby.
Here comes my baby, here she comes now.
I've always just been a big fan of his music. It's raw, it's warm, it seems honest. There's like a pain in there, but there's also a celebration of life, and it's a strange dance.
Walking with the love that's oh so fine, never to be mine, no matter how I try. And you never walk alone, and you're forever talking on the phone. Well, I've tried to call you names, but every time it comes out the same. Here comes my baby, here she comes now. And it comes as no surprise to me, with another guy. Well, here comes my baby, here she comes now. Walking with the love that's oh so fine, never to be mine, no matter how I try. Now I'm still waiting for your heart. I'm sure someday it's gonna start. You'll be mine to hold each day. Till then, this is all that I can say. Here comes my baby, here she comes now. And it comes as no surprise to me, with another guy. Well, here comes my baby, here she comes now. Walking with the love that's oh so fine, never to be mine, no matter how I try. Here comes my baby, here she comes now. Here comes my baby, here she comes now. Here she comes now. Here she comes now. Here she comes now. Oh, here she comes now.
Awesome. That was good.
Cool.